You're sitting at the dinner table, family all around you. Someone's laughing too loud, someone's telling the same story again, and you're there, physically there, but completely alone. Not lonely like you're missing people, alone like you're watching the whole thing through glass, like everyone else got handed some instructions for how to connect, and yours got lost somewhere along the way. You're Gen X. You were raised to handle it, to be fine, to need nothing. And you did all of that, perfectly. But here's the part no one warned you about. You got so good at not needing people that you forgot how to let them reach you. And now the people sitting right next to you, the ones who actually love you, can't quite get through. But where does this come from? Picture a kid who figured out early that asking for help made the adults around them uncomfortable. So they stopped asking. Homework, heartbreak, fear, handled alone, quietly, without making a scene. There was no single dramatic moment, just a slow lesson, repeated enough times to stick. Your needs are too much. Your feelings are inconvenient. Being self-sufficient is the same as being loved. That child got called so mature, so easy, so independent. That child was you, and the lesson didn't stay in childhood. It followed you into every room you've walked into since. You show up. You always show up. You answer when someone speaks to you. You pass the food. You laugh at the right moments. From the outside, you look completely present, but inside, you're watching, monitoring the room the way someone does when they've never fully trusted that it's safe to stop monitoring. You track the moods before anyone says a word. You notice the tension nobody else names. You adjust yourself before anyone even asks. This is how you move through family gatherings, present enough to function, distant enough to stay protected. And you've probably never called it anything. It's just how it is, how you are. But here's the thing. This isn't introversion. It's not shyness. It's not even discomfort with people. It's a nervous system that learned a long time ago to stay ready, to watch the room before relaxing into it. And some part of you is still doing that, even here, even now, even with people who have never once given you a reason to brace. But here's what nobody tells you. Everyone called it a strength. Your independence, your ability to handle things without falling apart. The adults around you were relieved, one less person to worry about, so they said it like a compliment. You're so mature, you never need anything. And you wore it like an identity. But self-sufficiency isn't a personality, it's a response. You didn't come into this world needing no one. You learned that needing people had a cost. Disappointment, dismissal, being told in quiet ways that you were too much. So you stopped. Not because you didn't feel things, because needing people and showing you needed them, those two things never got to develop together. You're not independent because it comes naturally. You're independent because depending on someone once felt dangerous. And somewhere in there, you stopped being able to tell the difference between a choice and a survival habit. And this is where it gets darker. When was the last time you were fully relaxed around family? Not just quiet. Actually relaxed, no part of you braced, tracking the mood, waiting for something to shift? For most Gen X, that answer is hard to find. Here's what's underneath it. Your nervous system learned early to stay alert, not because you're anxious, because the environment wasn't always predictable. So your brain adapted, it stayed ready. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, and it doesn't feel dramatic from the inside. It feels like paying attention, like being the person who notices things before they become problems. But what it actually is exhausting. You're not cold, you're not closed off. You're a person whose nervous system never got the memo that the unpredictable part is over. So it keeps scanning, keeps watching, even at Christmas, even surrounded by people who love you and aren't going anywhere. The real reason goes even deeper. Stay with me, this next part is the hardest truth. You deflect love, not sometimes, automatically. Someone gets too sincere, too genuinely concerned in something and you shifts the conversation. You make a joke, you say I'm fine. You move on before they can get any further in. You didn't decide to do it, it just happened. It always just happens. And the people who love you feel it. They reach towards you and hit something they can't name. Not hostility, just distance, a wall with no visible door. That image, the dinner table, all that noise, all those people around you, that's not them failing to include you. That's you, on the other side of glass you built, watching a warmth you won't let yourself step into. Nothing is wrong with you. You were never broken. You were taught early and repeatedly that needing warmth was weakness. But wait, there's something worse. The people around you have felt it too. The partner who says you never really open up. The sibling who quietly stopped trying after a while. The adult child who learned to come to you only for solutions, never just to be heard. They're not wrong about what they felt, but they're misreading what it means. They think you don't care. You care, sometimes overwhelmingly, but caring deeply and showing it are two completely different skills. You were trained hard in one, the other was never safe enough to practice. You're not independent because it comes naturally. You're independent because dependent on someone once felt dangerous. And somewhere in there, you stopped being able to tell the difference between a choice and a survival habit. After they leave, sometimes the quiet hurts in a specific way. Not because the visit was bad, because you can feel in the silence how close it almost was. Someone tried to reach you, asked a real question, offered something genuine, and some old reflex, and you pulled back, redirected, deflected, moved on, and the moment closed before you could decide whether to let it stay open. That's the grief most Gen X carries and almost never names. Not the grief of being abandoned, the grief of standing at the edge of real connection with people who actually love you and not being able to step forward. Over and over in the same rooms with the same people. You don't lack love. You survived without ever learning how to receive it. And this changes everything. You've been waiting for someone to reach you in a way that finally breaks through. But that's the wrong direction. The glass doesn't break from the outside. It softens from the inside, slowly in small moments. One honest answer instead of, "I'm fine." One moment where you let someone sit with you in something real instead of solving it and moving on. You're at that table again, same room, same noise, same people. But now you know something you didn't before. The aloneness was never about them. It was a child who learned to disappear inside themselves to stay safe, and never got the news that the danger had passed. That child was you. The table was always waiting. So were the people around it. So what actually helps? 3 things. The first, name it in the moment, not out loud necessarily, just to yourself. I'm deflecting right now. That single internal observation creates a pause, and in that pause, there's a choice. The second, start smaller than you think. One true sentence at a family gathering. Not a confession, just something real. That actually bothered me. I missed you. Small and honest is enough to start. The third, grieve the old rule. The belief that needing people was weakness kept you safe once. It did its job. But you're allowed to let it be wrong now. You're allowed to need people. The cost you always feared was never as certain as it felt. You came here feeling like something in you was broken. Like every family gathering kept exposing the same quiet proof. You leave knowing it was never a flaw, it was a training, and trainings can change. That table with all the noise and all the glass between you doesn't have to stay that way. The people on the other side aren't the problem, neither are you. The door was always there. It was always yours to open. Drop one word in the comments that describes how you feel at family gatherings. Just one word. Let's see what comes up. And if this one hit close, the next video goes into why Gen X apologizes for existing. It's already up.